Alright, what's up guys? Haven't made a video in a little bit, but today I'm making this quick vlog because we got some really exciting news with the new Supra. I think it's the MK, what is it, MK5 Supra? 2020 Supra, yeah, MK5 Supra. Was leaked on SupraMK5.com. And so if you're not familiar with the terms, the MK5, it's basically the replacement Supra that was built alongside BMW. So Toyota and BMW worked on two cars, one being the Z4 and then the other one being the Supra. So the Supra is supposed to be super close to the Z4, but with, kind of Toyota's twist to it. And it looks like they're going to bring a lot of the heritage from the old car into the new car. Now this is a car that's been talked about for a really long time now. I think since it's been at least 2016. When was this? Yeah, I think, yeah, 2016, September 2016 is when the first Supra prototype was revealed. And now we finally got pictures of the actual, real world car. So the production car has been caught, and I'll put some pictures up so you guys can kind of take a look at it. But it's got me really excited because I kind of forgot about the Supra, but the Z4 is out now. So if we look at the Z4, we can kind of see what the Supra is going to look like, in a production format. Not only that, but after doing a little bit of digging, a friend of mine actually sent me a link to this website called Real OEM, where you can, buy parts for pretty much every car, and there they have a lot of the Supra parts. So in a way, it's kind of a Supra leak, because you could take a look at some of the parts, that are available for that car. So if you look, basically I spent the whole day just sifting through this, Real OEM website, and I found some pretty cool things. So it's for beginners. Like the first thing I kind of looked at was the gear shifter, right? Unfortunately, it looks like the only transmission choice is this transmission, which is the 8ZF knob. So obviously, it'll be an 8ZF transmission in that car. No manual, no DCT, but hey, I mean, I kind of, we kind of all knew this was coming. No manual though. It's kind of tough because this would be like the perfect car to have as a manual, in my opinion. I prefer, kind of small, lightweight cars and, really sports cars to have as a manual. And yeah, so let's look at what else was in here that was pretty interesting. If you look at the dashboard, yeah, the instruments and measuring system. So we could basically see here that it looks like we have a full digital dash. So that's pretty cool. And so it looks like here, this part kind of in the middle is kind of like the rev counter. So you would have basically your revs here, and then maybe the speed on this side or something like that. Maybe it'll be customizable. Guess we'll have to wait and see about that. But hey, digital dash, I'll take it. And then another part that was really cool and I was actually really excited about was the heads-up display. Now, I had the heads-up display in my M4, and I was a huge fan of that. I really love the heads-up display, and I really miss it now that I have an M235i, which doesn't have a heads-up display. So I think this is really cool. Hopefully, they get the M3, M4 type of heads-up display, which shows the rev counter on the windshield and not just the speed and, the navigation stuff. But that's, that's pretty exciting stuff. And the Supra is pretty much, the competitor to the Cayman. And one of the things Porsches don't have, and I still don't understand why, is heads-up display. Like, I'm a huge fan of it. Just being able to, keep your eyes on the road, to look at the speedometer, or to look at, when you're changing songs and stuff like that. I think it's a huge advantage and a cool safety feature if you think about it that way. Now, the next thing I kind of looked at was the steering. I wanted to see, kind of what the steering wheel looked like. And we can actually get a picture of the steering wheel here. So it doesn't look like anything too crazy. You can see that there's those cool handles here on each side. The paddles look to be a little bit closer to the same paddles that I have like in my car in the M235i, which are probably the same paddles that you get in the Z4. they're not really that big or whatever, which is kind of meh. But I mean, I guess you could always get bigger paddles aftermarket, and I've seen reviews and people really like them. But also here we can see that this will be a multifunction steering wheel, so you'll be able to change out your music and stuff like that, which is pretty common in cars nowadays, but also good to have. So what else did I look at? Looked at the seats. Check out the seats. These seats are pretty cool, right? Yeah, look at that. So these look like really cool bucket seats, and I even like how they have like the shell thing going on in the middle with those three slats, and they definitely look like they hug you on the side. Now they don't look, it doesn't seem like they have adjustable bolsters, kind of like the M3 and M4 has. I think that was the pre-competition package, so if I'm correct, now I think the seats with the holes still have bolster support, adjustable bolsters. But yeah, I mean, I think these seats look really cool, and they look like they can really hug you in place, which will be useful for a sports car. And then next up was the engine. So looking at the engine, and you basically look at the main part of the engine, this block right here. They're calling it the B58B30C. So B58, if you're not familiar with BMW's engine lineup, the B58 is basically the engine that's found in 40i cars. So 340i, Z4, M40i, X3, M40i, they all have the B58 engine. It was first introduced, I think, in like the regular 340i with about 330 horsepower. But if we look at the Z4, for example, the Z4 M40i has about 385 horsepower. So I think we'll see a Supra that has about 350 horsepower if this is in fact the B58. And I mean, I don't know why they would, why Toyota would name their engine the B58 and, it not being a B58. So I think this pretty much confirms that the Toyota Supra will have a B58 engine. They'll probably, do their own tune to the B58 engine, but hopefully, it'll be no less than 385 horsepower. Hopefully, maybe we can get a little bit more. That would be nice, but hey, I'm good with that. And then I was actually able to see that there's already some slight aftermarket stuff. So if you look here, they came out with the carbon fiber mirror caps. Those are available already. That's funny. This is pretty sure this is a BMW in this picture, but whatever. But also floor mats. Yeah, so you can see these will be the actual floor mats in the Supra. I mean, I hope so, because it says Supra on the side. Look pretty cool. Okay, yeah, so these are the all-weather mats. Next up, what else did I find? The exhaust system. So this is like, before I looked at the engine, I actually looked at the exhaust system, and I saw this and I was like, single turbo. So we won't get a twin turbo Supra. I believe the MK4 was a twin turbo, the previous Supra, but it looks like this one will be a single turbo. And if you look actually at this downpipe, I don't know what this extra thing is here. This extra bigger cylinder. So I'm kind of familiar with downpipes because I had to take the downpipe out on my car when I put on the aftermarket one. But I don't know, this might be some emission stuff for Europe. But yeah, single downpipe. And then if you look at, these are basically the mid pipes. So yeah, you can see the mid pipes are here, extra catalytic converters, and then those hook up directly to the rear. Yeah, so the rear exhaust system. So I bet a bunch of like aftermarket part manufacturers are like digging through this and already start to kind of build their aftermarket exhaust, because we all know people will be putting aftermarket mods like crazy on this car. But yeah, also this is kind of cool. You can see that it will have a valve system on the exhaust, which is pretty nice, especially if you plan on modifying some of the stuff upstream like the downpipe and the mid pipe. It's always good to have a valve system so you can decide when you want to be loud and when you want to be quiet. But yeah, so this is basically what I saw for the most part off the website, this website at least. And yeah, I mean, I was really excited to see this because, oh wait, one more thing that I saw was pretty cool as far as options go. So, you know, this seems like standard parking sensors. So it looks like there'll be like two different level of parking sensors. See, like this car has 4 parking sensors front and back, and then this car has only 4 parking sensors total, so 4 versus 8. But this was pretty cool to see. So basically here we have a radar system, which I am guessing will be for kind of active cruise control. So this sensor kind of looks at the car in front of you and basically kind of like drives your car for you to make sure that, you know, your car doesn't hit the car in front of you. So if you plan on commuting, you could take the Supra as a commuter. So that's pretty cool. That, you know, we're gonna get a lot of, you know, 2018 and 2019 tech, because I mean by the time this comes out it's gonna be 2019. Yeah, this was interesting. So I don't know, a CAFES camera. I'm not sure exactly what this is. I don't know if this has to do with the radar sensor we were just looking at, or I wonder if it has to do with basically, what is it called? It's kind of like this thing that the M3 and M4 had, where you would have a camera on the car which would read speed limit signs, and then it would display them on your dashboard. So you could see, for example, if you're driving and then you drive past a sign that says 50 miles per hour speed limit, the camera would look at that and then it would display on your dashboard that, hey, don't go above 50 miles per hour, which is kind of cool, you know, especially if you're driving in a foreign country and stuff, or driving somewhere new where you're not too sure about the speed limit. And also, this is kind of cool seeing like the full silhouette of the production car in the background. So, you know, it's the real thing. But yeah, so I'm really excited about this because I've kind of made it a point that I really want my next car to be a sports car, and the Supra really fits that bill. You know, like I've said before, the M3s and M4s aren't sports cars. Those are, you know, regular sedans that are built to go fast, really. Whereas a sports car is a car that's built from the ground up to, you know, be fun and go fast. You know, a Miata is a sports car, a FRS is a sports car, and the Supra is looking, you know, like a sports car. But you know, this really looks like it fits the bill. Oh yeah, and then the new whatchamacallit, the new Z4 starts at basically 65,000. So we could kind of, you know, guess from that this Supra will be about the same price, if not hopefully cheaper. You would think that the Supra version, the Toyota version, would be less than the BMW version of things, especially considering that the BMW Z4 is a roadster. So, you know, if you kind of do the math, Supra should be, you know, maybe 60K, and, you know, 65 with some decent options or something like that. Oh yeah, I forgot to show you guys one thing. So we were actually able to see the wheel options that'll be coming on this car. So you basically have a 17 option, a 17-inch option, 18-inch option, and 19-inch option. I think me personally, I'm not a huge fan of these wheels. I think these look kind of decent, but I think 17s will look really small on this car. These actually remind me a lot of the standard wheels on the M3, M4. If you don't, you know, opt for the 19s or 20s now, I guess, you would get some wheels that look similar to this. These 18-inch wheels seem to be black and silver, so like kind of like a two-tone finish. I guess these aren't too bad. I guess I wouldn't mind rocking these from the factory, but I mean, it's a Supra, man. You gotta mod it. You can't just rock the factory stuff. You know what I mean? But yeah, to touch on that. Yeah, so this is like a really exciting day here in the Supra. The Supra Leaks on top with the Z4. I guess those were like Z4 leaks that came out not long ago, and you know, saying that the car was 385 horsepower and that'll cost about $65,000 MSRP to start off. But yeah, I'm really excited. I mean, a Z4 weighs, I think I saw in a review that it weighs about 3,350 pounds, and that is again with the soft top. So if you look at a Supra that is, you know, lighter because it has a hard top, we should be able to see 3200, 3250, I think without much problem. And that's M340i does 12.9 seconds in a quarter mile. I think that, I mean, that's just bonkers for like a base 3 series to go that fast. 12.9 in a quarter mile, and then 12.6 seconds in a quarter mile. 12.26 seconds at 112.4 miles per hour trap speed. And then they said the 0 to 60 is 4.2 seconds. My M4 with the manual did 4.1 0 to 60. I mean, that's just nuts. And that's stock. Imagine just, tuning this thing just a bit and you'd be rocking crazy numbers. So, yeah, so if an M340i could put down those numbers, imagine a smaller, lower to the ground, with better tires and stuff like that, just what the Supra is going to put down. I mean, could we see below 4s? I don't know. Again, 0 to 60 times aren't everything. I know that, but it's still, that's still pretty cool. I'm also interested to see kind of like what the 60 to 100 miles per hour, kind of speed will be like. But yeah, we don't have too many sports cars in kind of this segment. Above the FRS, basically, you got your Mustangs, your Camaros, and then you're basically at a Cayman. And I drove the Cayman 718 base and the Cayman 718S. I thought the 718S was good, but way too much money when you start putting options on it. It's basically the 718 Cayman S comes out to about 80K with options, and a base 17 Cayman is about maybe like 70 or something like that. But the base Cayman just did not sound good at all. I remember driving that car and just thinking to myself, it feels like I'm driving a blender. Like there was no type of crescendo, and you couldn't even get a tell if you couldn't really tell if you were going faster or not. So I think that when it comes down to it, I'm pretty sure that the Cayman S will, pound for pound be a better handling car, will probably feel better and stuff like that. But then again, the 718 Cayman S doesn't sound all that good. So I think that compared to 6-cylinder Supra and, with some mods and stuff like that, I think that'll be the real winner. And again, time will tell. I think my biggest hiccup right now is when will the Supra come out? The lease on my M235i expires, I think, September of 2019. And all the rumors right now are pointing towards the Supra coming out in Q4 of 2019. And so that would be, what kind of work, right? You would think so. But problem is, I mean, at least for me in the Bay Area, whenever a new car comes out, you basically have all the dealers just marking up cars, like marking up the crap out of them, charging adjusted market value or whatever they call it. And so a car that would cost 65,000, dealers will try to sell it for fucking 100,000. But we might be able to get past that since it's a Toyota. So fingers crossed. And who knows? Maybe I'll get that in my next car. Maybe I'll get something basic for a little bit, let the prices cool down, let the market cool down. I'm really not in business to pay market at all. And I don't even like the idea of paying sticker for a car at all, especially a car that's going to be, mass manufactured. So I would ideally like to get a discount on a Supra. If I could spec one out for 70K and get it for, for 65, 60 before tax, I'd be a happy camper. But yeah, let me know what you guys think. Are you happy with the Supra? The leaks so far, once again, guessing about 3,200 pound, 385 horsepower. We can for sure say that the 0-60 is going to be below 4 seconds. Heads up display, no manual. I know a lot of you guys will be mad that there's no manual, but I mean, I think it's going to be one hell of a sports car, and I'm really excited. All right, thanks again for watching. And yeah, YouTube stuff, like, subscribe, whatever. Let's get in these comments. Let me know what you guys think. Laters.